I'm not fighting no more. Kelly, let me do my job. I just told you I didn't want to do no interviews, and you said you are going to do interviews. Now you told me to do interviews. Now you're trying to take me away from them. No. Let me show Dante's Boxing Nation some love.
Dante's Boxing Nation, what's going on, guys? Now, before I get started, I want to tell you guys about this great book named Growing Pains by author Audrey P.A. The story is about a woman that goes through some extreme trials and tribulations at the hands of many male counterparts and how she became stronger and determined to change her life for the better. So go ahead and support this up-and-coming author Audrey P.A. by going over to Amazon.com and picking up yourself a copy of Growing Pains. I'll put the link in the description box. With that being said, let's go ahead and get into this. So guys, you already know about the Tyson Fury controversy with his gloves. You can clearly see in these pictures that his knuckles are at the bottom of the glove. In fact, even his own countryman, George Groves, he even said there's no doubt that his fists were at the bottom of the glove. He said the referee, should have been responsible enough to catch this. Now, when I used to see all these images of almost every punch that Tyson throws with the left hand, it's always an open glove punch where it looks like he's slapping Deontay Wilder. Now, ever since I've seen that image where you can see his fist at the bottom part of the glove, now we know why he was throwing punches with his glove open. So ever since this fight, this story has gone viral on places like World Star Hip Hop and YouTube. And I've been told that Tyson Fury has even disabled his comments on his Instagram recently, since so many fans have been talking about the controversy. The only people that are not talking about his glove or this controversy are the mainstream media in boxing. And let me just say this, for you Tyson Fury fans to say, hey, well, the reason why they're not talking about it because it's so stupid and silly. Now, we know that's not true, because if that was the case, then mainstream boxing media would have never covered Deontay Wilder's excuse for why he lost when it comes to the 40-pound costume that he walked in the ring with. We know what time it is. So while I say no one in the mainstream media is really talking about this, there is one person that's talking about it. And when I say one, I do mean one. I'm going to explain what I mean. So after dropping all these videos, I got a couple people saying, hey man, it's kind of strange. I don't know why, but the Mayweather gym, they're actually trying to go out of their way to defend Tyson Fury. Once again, the foreigner, right? I mean, listen, first of all, before I get deeper into this, we know for a fact the only place something like this would happen, where an American will go out of his way to defend the allegations of a foreigner cheating when he beat an American, is right here in America. We know for a fact if Floyd Mayweather beat Canelo Alvarez and we had pictures like we have of Tyson Fury right now, there would be no Mexican media members going the extra mile to try to defend Floyd Mayweather over Canelo Alvarez. It would never happen. It would only happen in this country, and we know why that is. Okay, so let's finally go ahead and get into this. Now, I'm probably about to butcher this man's name because it's been a long time since I talked to him out there in Las Vegas. It's either Cody or Jody, or it might be something else, but for the sake of this video, we're going to call him Jody. Now, Jody, this man is the guy's voice you usually hear when it comes to the interviews at the Mayweather gym, when they're interviewing Jeff Mayweather, the guy that's usually holding the camera when Jeff Mayweather is talking. His name is Jody. He's the one that came up with the idea of doing this experiment in the hopes of exonerating Tyson Fury after he had interviewed Jeff Mayweather and didn't get the answer that he wanted, when Jeff Mayweather said, it's definitely a benefit. It's definitely an advantage. Whenever you're hitting someone with your fist, it's an advantage. Whenever your fist is at the bottom of the glove and you're hitting someone with your fist, it's an advantage. This is what Jeff Mayweather said. Now, in a minute, I'm going to explain to you why that experiment was a complete waste of time and it meant absolutely nothing. But before I do that, I'm gonna just sum it up later on in a minute. But before I show you guys why that experiment was ineffective and a pure waste of time, I'm going to give you guys the link to Young Pharaoh's video where he completely took a lot of time in detail to debunk the whole experiment. So thanks to Young Pharaoh for saving me time, because it's something else that I really want to talk about, because right now, this Jody guy who works with the Mayweather channel is misleading and confusing a lot of fans that watch the Mayweather channel. You know, it's been so many times where I've been asked, people send me messages on Facebook or email, and they be like, Dante, what's going on with this guy at the Mayweather gym? It seems like he makes the Mayweathers look bad sometime, or he seems like he's doing a lot of sneak dissing when he does interviews and when he's talking. And because I used to spend a lot of times covering the guys at the Mayweather gym for years, these people, they ask me, why does Floyd Mayweather allow this guy to make the Mayweather channel look bad? And this is where the confusion lies. See, a lot of people, at least the majority of people, automatically assume because the channel is named the Mayweather channel, that the channel has something to do with Floyd Mayweather. Guess what? That channel has absolutely nothing to do with Floyd Mayweather. Floyd Mayweather has nothing to do with that channel. What happened was this Jody guy, he had his own channel before. It was a small channel that he had, and eventually he ended up collaborating with Jeff Mayweather, and they together created the Mayweather channel. Once again, the reason why I'm talking about this is because it confuses a lot of fans. So when Jody goes rogue and starts revealing his personal agenda by doing this experiment to try his best to exonerate Tyson Fury, guess what it does? It makes people think that Floyd Mayweather is going out of his way to defend Tyson Fury, because those are the comments that I see all the time. Why is Floyd Mayweather going out of his way to defend this British fighter when we know that he cheated? I'm seeing comments like that. I'm seeing tons of comments where people are saying, man, I lost a whole lot of respect for Floyd Mayweather ever since he tried to defend Tyson Fury in this situation. Why would he do that? Etc., etc., etc. Once again, they're thinking it's Floyd Mayweather doing this, but really it's this Jody guy. By the way, Jody is a white guy. See, listen, you have to understand this. Everyone has an agenda. We all have agendas. I have an agenda. You know, Martin Luther King had an agenda. Hitler had an agenda. From good to bad, everyone has an agenda. But the best thing about my agenda is over here on Dante's Boxing Nation, I can say whatever I want to say because I don't represent another brand. I don't represent another name. I represent DBN. But when it comes to this Jody guy, he's not representing himself when he does a video on Mayweather channel. He's representing the Mayweather name. So if he says something out of pocket, people in the comment section are saying, I can't believe Floyd Mayweather did this. I can't believe Floyd Mayweather said this. What's going on with Floyd Mayweather, etc., etc., etc. Because those are the comments that I'm seeing. So this is why I think, to prevent this type of confusion, to prevent people from thinking that it's Floyd Mayweather co-signing with stuff that Jody comes up with, this Jody guy, he should be doing these type of videos on a separate channel. Once again, when you want to go rogue and do your own thing, he should be doing that on his own channel, not under the Mayweather name. Because once again, I'm just trying to prevent confusion. This is not personal at all towards Jody, because I knew him for quite some time, at least when it comes to seeing him at the Mayweather gym and us just talking. Now, let me go ahead and get into the summary I promised you guys, why it was a waste of time for them to do this experiment. So what the Mayweather, or what Jody did, is he had 4 people that he interviewed and had them do this experiment, right? Now keep in mind, Jeff Mayweather has already debunked his partner's experiment by saying, whenever you're hitting someone with your knuckle, whenever your fist is at the bottom of the glove and you're hitting someone with your knuckle, you have an advantage in the fight. You have a benefit. It benefits you. This is what Jeff Mayweather said. So he already shut down the experiment. But when Jody does this experiment, once again, he has 4 people, and 2 of the people, they didn't even have the gloves with the laces. They had, like, I think the Velcro strap, which you can't even use those gloves for this experiment. It has to be the exact same type of gloves, because you're not gonna get the same type of bend if you have double straps around the bottom wrist area, because that's the main part we're focused on, is the wrist area, right? So anyway, you have people in the video saying that it seems like this would hurt my wrist, me trying to do this. You guys have to understand something. If Tyson Fury has been doing this for years, you can't just go to some people that have never did this before and expect them to perfect the technique like someone who's been doing it for years. And on top of that, Tyson Fury hasn't even showed us, and he never will, obviously, how to do it, right? That's like trying to do something that someone has been trained to do. You know how you see that warning, don't try this at home? They say that because if you're not a trained professional, you could hurt yourself, right? So this video, it proves nothing. Only thing you guys are proving is the people in the video, they did not know how to perfect the technique. Maybe Tyson Fury didn't know how to do it the right way when he first started doing it. We don't know if his dad or someone else taught him to do this years and years ago. But clearly, somebody taught him how to do it, and he perfected it, right? I mean, it's like the pyramids. To this day, the entire world is scratching their head trying to figure out how did they build those pyramids in with Egypt? The limited amount of equipment, tools, and machinery. They did an experiment on the History Channel trying to remake the pyramid with the tools that was available back then, and they could not do it. They could not do it, right? Just like the fighters at the Mayweather gym could not do what Tyson Fury was obviously very effective in doing. And furthermore, let's just use common sense. Why would Tyson Fury do something that would break his wrist and keep doing it over and over? Did it in the first fight, did it in the second fight. Lord knows how long he's been doing it. How many times has there been a report that Tyson Fury broke his wrist? Once again, if you're not a trained professional in doing what Tyson Fury did, of course you might break your wrist. Of course you might injure yourself. And furthermore, if you're gonna do an experiment to defend Tyson, why don't you do an experiment on all the stuff that Tyson was accused of doing? Why don't you do an experiment on the PEDs that Tyson Fury tested positive for before? Why don't you go give some of the fighters in the Mayweather gym them same damn PEDs that Tyson was taking and see if they have an advantage? See if it benefits them. Why don't you do an experiment with them gloves that Tyson Fury's sparring partner said the padding was removed from? Put those gloves on the fighters at the Mayweather gym and ask them, do they feel they have an advantage now? This is the reason why it makes no sense for Jody to go out of his way trying to defend Tyson Fury when you know Tyson Fury has a history of doing suspicious things. He has a history of being accused of cheating. Why would you go out on a limb trying to defend him? It makes no sense to me. But I guess it does make sense when we're talking about Jody in particular, because these were the type of conversations we would have when we used to talk about boxing. Once again, whenever a black fighter was involved or it was black versus non-black, he was always at odds. So that puts Jody's experiment to rest. But if you guys want to see that experiment get buried even deeper, just go ahead and watch Young Pharaoh's video where he really goes in deep, breaking down why that experiment, it did not add up and it was a waste of time. I'll put the link to that video in the description box so you guys can watch it. With that being said, it's only one more thing to say. If any of you guys out there are looking to grow your new YouTube channel or your existing YouTube channel, you want to get some new subscribers, go ahead and contact me at dantesboxingnation@gmail.com. If there's a website you want to promote or something you're trying to sell, or you just want to get your name out there, anything it is, contact me at dantesboxingnation@gmail.com. Now, while I'm talking about that, I want you guys to make sure you subscribe to my man's YouTube channel, Nate Drink One. He has a great new YouTube channel. He does a podcast, really good podcast with a full panel. So seriously, guys, go over there, show that support. It don't take nothing but a second to just go over there and click on that subscribe button. It's called A Drink of Wisdom. And what I really like about it is it has a little bit of an ESPN type of feel to it. Like I said, it's a new channel for my man Nate, so let's help him get to 1,000 subscribers. I'll leave you guys with a clip of his actual podcast show. That's all I got for now, guys. I'm on to the next one.
Brief period of deliberation, Deontay Wilder has exercised his rematch option with Tyson Fury officially. The fight is scheduled to take place July 18th at the MGM Grand Garden Arena in Las Vegas. The decision came just days after his loss, with Wilder seemingly thinking bad luck and circumstance had played a role in his loss last time. Fury will take the rematch and maybe one of the last fights we see the Gypsy King in. So Drake, let's start with you, man. Is Wilder making a mistake by taking this rematch with Fury this soon?
Before I get to the answer of that question, two things I want to hit on about that first and second match. It's been brought out that the Nevada Commission, PBC, Top Rank, they're waiting on a B sample from Tyson Fury from the second fight. Evidently, something was wrong with his A sample, so they have to confirm it with the B sample. If what's being said is true, then we're talking a whole nother scenario here.